US magazine Foreign Policy recently disclosed inside stories of China's assault on US intelligence and personal data in the past 10 years. The extensive report was based on interviews with over 36 current and former US intelligence and national security officials. Around 2013, US intelligence began noticing an alarming pattern. Undercover CIA personnel flying into countries in Africa and Europe for sensitive work were being rapidly and successfully identified by Chinese intelligence. The surveillance by Chinese operatives began in some cases as soon as the CIA officers had cleared passport control, the report stated, citing 3 former US officials. From the year 2000 to 2010, the CIA exploited the high degree of corruption within the CCP system to recruit Chinese officials as their agents. However, by around 2010, Beijing discovered the CIA had deeply infiltrated its networks into military and intelligence agencies. From 2010 to 2012, after Iran identified a flaw in the CIA's online system and shared it with Beijing, furious Chinese leaders ruthlessly uprooted the CIA's human source network in China, imprisoning and killing dozens of people. Prior to 2010, China had already developed sophisticated espionage skills to steal personal data. The shake-up between 2010 and 2012 triggered Beijing to launch a frantic hacking attack on the US Office of Personnel Management, OPM, from which Chinese hackers stole detailed, often highly sensitive personal data from 21.5 million current and former US officials, their spouses and job applicants, including health, residency, employment, fingerprint and financial data. US-based current affairs commentator Xin Tianxing believes that through data analysis, the CCP can easily identify American agents operating in China, as well as in African and European countries. In addition, the CCP can apply what they've learned from this data to recruit more agents to infiltrate the United States.
The biggest threat, as mentioned in this report, is that the CCP has learned how the U.S. recruits intelligence agents based on the data it stole. It will then dispatch its own agents to infiltrate the U.S. national security system and bring down the United States from within.
The Chinese now have unprecedented insight into the workings of the U.S. system. The United States, meanwhile, was flying with one eye closed when dealing with China. With the CIA's carefully built network of Chinese agents utterly destroyed, the debate over how to handle China would become increasingly contentious, even as China's ambitions grew, the report concluded. Commentator Zheng Haochang noted that the US government should have quickly fixed the internet flaw in its system and taken rigorous action to contain Chinese spies in the country back in 2012. Unfortunately, the Obama administration did the opposite. Zheng also pointed out that Chinese agents in the United States greatly outnumber American agents in China.
The failure of Obama lies in the fact that when he could have closed the valve, he opened it up even more. It's equivalent to inviting a wolf into the room. As a result, both external and internal defense became weakened. And the trouble is only getting more serious over time.
The report revealed that after Chinese leader Xi Jinping assumed the presidency in 2013, Chinese hackers intensified data ransacking, stealing more data from the United States than any other country. The Obama administration only prosecuted 5 hackers in response. Moreover, it adopted a more friendly policy towards China by opening other key areas to Chinese citizens. For instance, after Obama visited Beijing in 2014, business and tourist visas for Chinese were extended from 1 year to 10-year multiple entry, and student visas were extended to 5 years. US senior intelligence officials were dumbstruck by these policies, as they knew it was the CCP's Ministry of National Security that actively promoted the visa extension program.
If
you combine the visa extension program with the CCP intelligence capabilities, you'll find that on the one hand, it has mastered various U.S. systems and their recruitment criteria through data. On the other hand, the CCP will then dispatch its own candidates to come to the United States through loopholes in immigration and visa policies. And these people will end up in various U.S. networks and institutions. Think about how frightening this is.
The report quoted a former senior official of the National Security Council who said that by the end of the Obama term, China had surpassed Russia in collecting technology and recruiting American agents. Commentator Xin Tianxing believes that from what we have observed from the 2020 presidential election, we can see that the CCP's assets in various US systems were playing a role. It is then understandable as to why the CCP, when pressured by US sanctions, dared to behave arrogantly. Its confidence stems from the deep infiltration in America as described in this report.